This story is aimed at people who have ever been hurt by a loved one. To understand the lesson, please stay until the end. The Gloves of God. Once upon a time there was an old veterinarian who lived in a small village. Every day he went to his office, talked with his assistant and cured many sick animals. One day, the veterinarian was walking calmly, when he suddenly heard the cry of some injured animal. The veterinarian quickly ran looking for who was suffering so much, when he found an old box on the outskirts of the village, in which there was a small scorpion. The vet noticed that one of the scorpion's claws had a bruise, and gave the little scorpion some pain cream. However, in a moment of pain, the scorpion became upset and stung the vet with its venomous stinger. After this, the veterinarian returned to his office to investigate further, discovering that it was a very rare species and that its bite had no cure. Perhaps you, dear reader, also tried to give of yourself to others, but you ended up stung by a poisonous person. Stung with ingratitude, broken promises, criticism from others, offenses, and so many disappointments that ended up making you disappointed, and you will close your heart to others. Continuing with the story, the next day the veterinarian prepared to return to the box to continue healing the scorpion, even though his body hurt from the venom. Why are you going to cure that scorpion if you know that it can sting you again? Asked the assistant while he prevented the vet from leaving. I know that the nature of the scorpion is to sting and I'm not going to change it, the veterinarian exclaimed, a little sadly. But my nature is to help and I'm not going to change it either, so I'm still going to come back, but with special protective gloves to heal it better. And so, the veterinarian day after day took care of all his animals and especially the scorpion. The little animal sometimes stung him again, but he no longer poisoned it, because the gloves protected him. This went on for a long time, but the poison ended up knocking the poor veterinarian into his bed. His assistant took care of him and accompanied him, until one night, they talked like this. My assistant, thank you for being with me in so many difficult moments. I have seen the talents that God has placed in you and I know that you can be the next doctor in the village, but to fulfill this mission you only need one thing, some protective gloves. On your right hand you will put on the glove of focus on your life purpose. You must be immersed in your vocation, which is to serve with all your mind, your soul and your strength. Thus, you will be too busy to be drowned by the sadness of life. And on the left hand, what glove should I put on? Asked the assistant, knowing that there was not much time left. On the left hand, said the veterinarian as he brought his own left hand to his heart, there you should put on the glove of mercy. You should know that animals and people are sometimes going to hurt you, but deep down they don't do it out of malice, but because they still don't know how to differentiate good and evil. Just like you and me, dear helper. We have both made mistakes many times in life. But Father God always forgives us with a beautiful love, and He is always willing to forgive us, just as we forgive those who offend us. Therefore, you must be an example of mercy for this village. And for the world. Suddenly, the veterinarian's eyes closed gently and, with a serene calm, his soul went to heaven. Several years later, the assistant expanded the clinic, trained several people and together they cared for the village's animals, as well as the sick people. They did everything with joy, always a little better, having patience and mercy with everyone who attended that clinic. Which was now called the Gloves of God Clinic. Moral: this motivating story teaches us that to be happy we must put on God's gloves, starting by focusing on our life mission, which is to serve and contribute with our talents. Also, we must put on the second glove and be like the veterinarian, compassionate to others when they hurt us, forgiving others knowing that we too have made mistakes and deserve mercy. Finally, perhaps God speaks to us as if we were the helper and asks us to be an example of perseverance and compassion in this challenging world. Thus, we can be so focused on serving that sadness will not drown us, we will be able to forgive others and we will be able to cultivate true happiness. If you liked this story, please like it, share it, remember to subscribe and leave me in the comments what teaching this video has left you. Finally, I say goodbye, thank you very much. Dear reader.